Live from WRAL News Headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
We've had a little bit of snow across the viewing area, a little bit of a wintry mix from the triangle and points to the north. I'll show you the latest radar images coming up.
And crucial clue, deputies uncover a key piece of evidence that could solve a decades-old missing persons case.
And bracing for premium hikes, Senate Republicans reject dueling plans as the ACA deadline approaches. We'll talk about what's ahead on the Hill.
Well, some of you had some snow this morning, and now we are tracking another Arctic blast. This was the view from our WRAL camera in Roxborough. Of course, the area living up to its name, the snow capital of North Carolina. You can see some flakes coming down there. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle McConaughey in for Nate Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood. On this Friday, we have made it to the end of the week. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is here to talk to us a little bit more about chances for more flurries in the afternoon, but also outdoor plans over the weekend.
That's right. Some big changes coming this weekend, but a lot of people talking about the snow flurries that we're seeing. It's kind of hard to see here, but this is our Garner Tower cam, and we see some flurries flying around in Garner. At RDU, it's pretty cloudy there, and at times I've seen a flurry or two fly by, not a big deal. And this is a live look at Lewisburg. Occasionally we'll see some flurries there as well, but road temperatures are all above freezing, so this is just something where you'll look out your window and say, oh, it's some snow flurries or some sleet. That's about it. So here's a live look at our dual Doppler 5000. As temperatures continue to warm, we continue to see more of a little bit of a mix. So this is a live look at the triangle area, some sleet, some snow, maybe a little bit of rain mixing in at times as well across the triangle area right now. And we have some more back to the west. This is all moving from west to east. So Pittsburgh getting a little bit of a wintry mix as well. But again, not amounting to anything. Temperatures are above freezing. Road temperatures are above freezing. So it's just not doing anything to the area roadways. Maybe an hour and a half, and then we're done with this. By the time we get to the evening commute, it is going to be dry. We'll have some clouds around, but it should be dry for the evening commute. And then clearing skies tonight. It'll turn colder. We'll stay in the 40s today, so it's a chilly day out there today. Saturday, we'll have a high temperature of 57. Sunday is when our Arctic front arrives, so it looks like it's not that bad, 42, but that's going to come early in the morning. Temperatures drop through the day. It'll feel like 20s in the afternoon. I'll show you what the wind chill could feel like as we head into Monday morning coming up.
All right, we'll see you in just a bit, Amy. Thank you. With cold temperatures sticking around, many viewers might be tempted to turn up the heat, but there are some things you can do to prevent cold air from getting in and control your energy use. First, set your thermostat to the lowest comfortable setting. Next, seal air leaks and insulate. You can also replace air filters and open blinds during the day to help some heat come into your home. Finally, set the ceiling fans to rotate clockwise. Keep in mind, you can stay connected to updates anytime with the weather situation with the WRAL weather app, but make sure you turn on your push notifications. That way you get important alerts sent right to your phone.
New evidence could help deputies in Nash County solve a missing persons case from 2003. WRAL's Kirsten Clark is live at the Nash County Sheriff's Office. And Kirsten, the victim disappeared on Christmas Eve 22 years ago.
Yeah, Michelle, you said it. Travis Lynch was last seen on Christmas Eve in 2003. He was leaving his girlfriend's house in Nash County. And now, more than 2 decades later, Nash County Sheriff's deputies found his car submerged in a creek. I want you to take a look at your screen here where you'll see a photo of the white 1992 Pontiac Grand Am that belonged to Lynch. It was nearly unrecognizable when Nash County Sheriff's deputies pulled it from the water this week. It was found near Old Middlesex Road and Turkey Creek. The Nash County Sheriff called in the FBI to help search that area. And we spoke with Lynch's family years ago. Both they and the Nash County Sheriff's Office said at the time they believe foul play was involved in his disappearance. We are expecting to speak with the Nash County Sheriff in just a little while here as we try to learn more information about what happened to Lynch as their investigation continues. Live in Nash County, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
New today, UNC head football coach Bill Belichick has fired offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens and special teams coordinator Mike Prefer. WRAL sports investigative reporter Brian Murphy joins us now to talk a little bit about, well, Brian, what this means for next season.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. Bill Belichick was introduced at UNC exactly 1 year ago today. Now the Tar Heels head coach is making big changes to his staff ahead of season 2. Belichick released this statement saying, quote, "We want to thank Coach Kitchens and Coach Prefer for their commitment and many contributions to our program and student athletes." Kitchens was a holdover from Mac Brown's staff, and Belichick promoted him to offensive coordinator, but the Tar Heels offense was anemic all year, the worst in the ACC and among the worst in the nation. It's vital that Belichick gets the next hire right.
The most important position on the coaching staff, even above head coach, is the offense coordinator. That offense coordinator needs to be in line with the quarterback, and they have to be hand in hand.
Will Belichick hire an OC that brings along his own quarterback? That's something that's become very common in college football these days. The Tar Heels special teams were also in the bottom half of the league, and UNC was burned by fakes against both Duke and NC State.
4-8. Hopefully they have a better season next season. Thanks, Brian. We'll explore all of the drama on and off the field in a brand new WRAL documentary. Our WRAL investigative documentary unit breaks down how Belichick was hired, how the season went, and what comes next. Coaching Carolina, The Belichick Way, airs and streams Thursday night at 7:30.
The former UNC Rex nurse accused of sexually assaulting at least 2 patients could be facing more charges. Since Brian Alvarez Ortiz's appearance in court yesterday, a 3rd victim has come forward. Investigators say Alvarez Ortiz sexually assaulted 2 patients while they were sedated. Raleigh police tell us the victims were recovering from surgery at the time. Dr. Michael Sindoni is an attorney and an anesthesiologist who has dealt with cases like this before. He says patients in hospitals are in a very vulnerable situation, and hospitals need to be on top of what their personnel are up to.
They're not always conscious. They may not always know what kind of care they're receiving. So they rely on the hospital to have a whole body of people in place to make sure the care is safe.
Alvarez Ortiz will be back in court on December 31st. In the meantime, Raleigh police are asking anyone who believes they have been victimized to come forward. You can find the phone number on your screen. You can also visit our website, WRAL.com, for more on this.
I'm Keely Arthur in the Live Center. Some updates on the ballroom drama at the White House. Trump now being sued by a preservationist organization over this renovation project. They say they want a review of what he is doing. Now, this is the National Trust for Historic Preservation. They're asking a federal court to stop Donald Trump's White House ballroom project until it goes through a comprehensive design review and public comments and then wins approval from Congress. Obviously, this is a little late considering a lot of renovations have been done. You can see in that photo right there, a lot of ground has been broken, but we'll continue to update this as we get more information.
All right, sounds good, Keely. Thank you. Workers in the Office of Civil Rights and the Department of Education are being called back to deal with a backlog of complaints. The office was established to help provide equal access to education for all students and to protect students from discrimination. The department was gutted at the beginning of President Trump's second term. 250 employees who were fired are being asked to return to work to handle about 24,000 complaints. Let's talk about stocks this afternoon. Taking a look right now at the Dow. It looks like that's down about 216 points there. S&P 500 down 72 points off screen. NASDAQ down 384 points there. We see that there's a bit of investors pulling out right now in the tech sector as it continues as Broadcom is sliding right now. Texas also dealing with an influx of data center requests that could indicate an AI bubble.
Raleigh firefighters are working to learn what caused a fire in a neighborhood downtown. This is video from that scene on Idlewild Avenue. Crews spent about an hour putting out those flames. Several streets were blocked off while crews worked, including parts of Oakwood Avenue. We are asking for the extent of the damage as well if anybody was hurt in this. Coming up, healthcare showdown. What's next for what you pay for insurance premiums after the U.S. Senate rejects 2 healthcare bills.
And catastrophic flooding. The rescue efforts underway to save people from rising floodwaters in parts of Washington state.
And immigration battle after the release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, why he is not completely free and his continued fight for justice.
Coming up next, sea storms moving in with WRAL's exclusive Dual Doppler 5000, sponsored by the WRAL Weather app. Download now for live radar.
Well, for all you people who wanted some flurries for your winter, well, here you go. That's what we've been seeing in different places here. Getting a live look at Durham, our producer says you can see a little bit of snow over there. Elsewhere, we're seeing it come down a little more strongly. You're watching WRAL News, available on YouTube TV and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device.
Millions of Americans are bracing for steep premium hikes after the Senate rejected two health care bills. Neither bill achieved the 60 votes needed to advance. As NBC's Alice Barr explains, the House is expected to bring up its own bill next week before leaving for the holiday recess.
With a 1-2 punch of failed votes from each party,
the motion is not agreed to.
The Senate knocking out hopes of offering a health care fix before Obamacare subsidies expire at the end of the month, sending insurance premiums soaring for some 22 million Americans. Overnight, President Trump, who refused to negotiate when Democrats pushed to extend the subsidies during the government shutdown, now calling for a bipartisan solution.
I really believe we can work on health care together and come up with something that's going to be much better, much less expensive for the people.
The Senate's top Democrat arguing Republicans who have long opposed Obamacare have failed to find a viable alternative.
They put a little bubble gum and Scotch tape together and put together a ridiculous, phony plan.
Republicans say the Obamacare system itself has forced health care costs up. Instead, they want to put money directly in Americans' health savings accounts.
They can use it, pay for premiums, whatever, and then make sure we cover pre-existing condition.
For now, with both plans failing on the Senate floor, Obamacare recipients like cancer survivor Rebecca Davis are about to take a hit. Her premium set to double in the new year.
There's a lot of stress that comes with receiving that bill in the mail.
Speaker Mike Johnson promising a vote in the House next week.
That will bring down the cost of health care for all Americans, not just 7% of them.
It's not clear what that plan would be, with time running out for Americans in need. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Extending ACA subsidies was the central sticking point for Democrats that kept the government in that record-setting shutdown. Democrats plan to hold the issue over Republicans in next year's midterms. Some House Republicans that are wanting to force a vote on extending the money worried spiking costs would cost them their seats.
Police are investigating a crash in Midtown.
When it comes to decorating for the holidays, experts say the economy is influencing shoppers' spending habits. Many people are saying no to new lights and ornaments and making their own. Chanley Painter takes a closer look at the practice of mindful consumption.
No matter your personal style, the holidays are typically a time for decorating. But decking all the halls can start adding up fast. According to Dr. Larissa Adamietz of Purdue University, existing economic pressure from tariffs and inflation aren't just impacting how many folks are shopping for their gifts, but also their decor.
There is a large portion of our population that are living paycheck to paycheck and are not in a position to be purchasing these things.
Some experts say tighter wallets are triggering a trend called mindful consumption.
And this will be more apparent in younger generations as that generation is looking to reduce overall waste and really not buy into this over materialistic society. So that's where we're really seeing pushback on spending.
Part of people's strategy to reduce waste and boost savings involves not buying disposable single-use holiday decorations.
And we've actually seen this happen earlier this year with different Halloween products. Walmart had a huge surplus of extra goods, and they put these items on clearance as early as September and beginning of October.
The trend is also inspiring more people to make homemade garland and ornaments out of recycled paper products they already have lying around.
And that was Chanley Painter reporting. If DIY projects aren't your specialty, industry watchers say customers can find higher discounts on decorations the closer we get to the holidays.
Tesla's U.S. sales dropped to a nearly 4-year low in November. That's according to data from Cox Automotive. That's despite the rollout of new, cheaper versions of the Model Y and Model 3. Sales of EVs overall have taken a hit since the end of September. That's when the Trump administration ended the $7,500 federal tax credit for EVs. The new year is bringing new leadership at Lululemon. CEO Calvin McDonald will leave that retailer at the end of next month. The news comes after Lululemon's founder criticized McDonald and the board over the company's struggles in a crowded market. Shares of Lululemon have fallen nearly 50% through the year. The company is searching for a replacement.
Coming up, immigration fight. Kelmar Abrego Garcia's next step in his battle to clear his name and remain in this country illegally.
And Sunday scaries, maybe you've used them before, right? That terminology. We'll explain that term and the signs that you may be suffering from this and what you can do about it. Oh, and we do have a look at your winning NC Education lottery numbers right here on your screen.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count
on. Look at that.
There is some snow in the WRAL Azalea Garden right here on Western Boulevard in Raleigh.
Yeah, our assistant news director, Isa, she says, there's flurries outside.
I know, she was running through the newsroom so excited.
And we've also heard from viewers in Johnston County who are also seeing a few flurries. Meteorologist Amy Wilmoth is joining us now to take a check of the radar. It's something to be excited about, Amy.
It is. You can look out the window and be like, oh, that's so cool. Thankfully, it's not impacting the roads. That's what we like to hear. This is the fun kind of stuff. You look outside and see a little bit. And what's likely happening in and around the Triangle, Johnston County, Wilson County, some flurries mixed with some rain as well as those temperatures continue to climb. Some snow, still some snow flurries up in our northern community. So let's zoom in a little bit. And Roxborough getting some snow, maybe some sleet pellets mixing in at times. Henderson, you have some headed in your direction, just to the north of downtown Henderson. We haven't had any accumulations. This has just been stuff that's flying around and melting on contact. Earlier this morning, we had a little bit of a dusting in some of our northern counties, but that is all melted. And then in this area here, it's cold enough that we're seeing still some flurries mixing in, but there's also rain. There's also some sleet as well. And again, it's not impacting area roadways, which is the good news. I'd say we've got another hour, maybe two, where we have to deal with this or look out the window and see some of this, and then it's gone. It should be dry for the evening commute. This is why I'm really just not that concerned. Check out our road temperatures, our exclusive product here. These numbers are way above freezing, so nothing expected to happen on roads. It's not coming down super heavy, so not too worried about it. This is a live look at Fenton and Cary. I'm not sure if you can see this very well, but there is some flurry action mixed in with a little bit of rain at times. And in Chapel Hill, a couple of flurries at times. Right now it's looking pretty dry. I don't see anybody with umbrellas or anything. Next up is this Arctic high pressure. I'm going to show you what that's going to do to our temperatures over the weekend, coming up in a bit.
All right, sounds good, Amy. Thank you. And just a reminder, you can get customized weather alerts on your phone straight from the WRAL weather app. Download that app, and that way you'll never be alone during winter weather. WRAL's team of meteorologists has access to exclusive forecasting tools, as you heard Amy talk about, and this will give you the most precise look at how this storm could affect us.
I'm Keely Arthur in the Live Center. Now, all morning we had been telling you about this devastating crash in Nash County involving a 25-year-old man, Evan Mills. He died at the scene after veering off the road. There is a photo of the aftermath, and now we are getting some more details that's kind of really humanizing the situation here. Brooke Simpson, who you may remember, she appeared on The Voice as well as America's Got Talent. She is a local talent from Hollister, North Carolina. Brooke Simpson, that woman right there, is the sister of the gentleman who passed away late last night. He died on the scene. The family saying to WRAL News that they are in shock and devastated. Brooke is traveling back home to Hollister right now to be with her family. The family also sent us a photo. We're going to get that up on our website right now.
That is so devastating. Thanks, Keely. Well, this morning, a federal judge issued a temporary restraining order barring the Trump administration from detaining Kilmar Abrego Garcia again. Supporters rallied outside the Baltimore ICE field office this morning as he appeared for an ICE check-in. After leaving the hearing, Abrego Garcia told his supporters, quote, "I stand before you as a free man." His lawyer addressed the crowd, saying the legal fight is not over.
The legal fight is far from over. I wish I could say that with this, the government is going to leave well enough alone. This man has suffered enough. I think we've all been here long enough to know that, unfortunately, the government is not going to leave well enough alone. They're going to keep throwing the weight of the Department of Justice, the weight of the Department of Homeland Security against this man and against his family, just like they've been doing against this country and against this nation for the whole year.
The judge's order will remain in effect until she's able to hold a hearing over the issue. The Justice Department declined to comment on today's order. Church members in Charlotte have restored a nativity scene after it was destroyed. Video shows a man destroying a display outside the Mission Gathering Church. It shows mannequins dressed as ICE agents hovering over Mary, Joseph, and baby Jesus. A church official says the point is to make people think about ICE raids and to make people feel something. The church did not file charges because nothing was broken.
Well, people in Cary are calling for more transparency from town leaders. And one concern is over taxpayer money being used to pay for a council member's master's degree. As WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains, there are also unanswered questions about the suspension of the town's manager.
Last night, town leaders got an earful from people about taxpayer dollars being used to subsidize a council member's master's degree. Financial records show the town paid $37,000 towards Mayor Pro Tem Lori Bush's degree, and she paid that money back. Emails obtained by WRAL show suspended town manager Sean Stiegel initially brought up the idea. Bush says she confirmed with the town manager, HR, and legal that tuition reimbursement was permissible. She added she learned later the proposal had not been brought up to all council members. The town says Stiegel's suspension is not related to this incident.
And that was Kelsey Coffey reporting. And right now we're asking if the suspension of the town manager is not related about this, then what is it about? And we've tried to contact Stiegel multiple times. We're still waiting to hear back from him.
The Durham Public School System is asking for your help after a break-in. The district had collected items like shampoo, soap, and deodorant for students who are experiencing homelessness, but most of it was stolen during a break-in at a DPS building. Now they're trying to gather replacements to refill their resource closet.
We were able to give each child their own separate deodorant. So we want to be able to do that again. We want to make sure that our children, they look good, they smell good, and that they're ready to learn, just like their other peers.
DPS is collecting new donations at their building on Bacon Street. They need all kinds of hygiene items, especially lotions and deodorants.
Well, it's flu season and numbers are expected to go up, surge in fact. Who doctors say is most at risk and the steps you can take right now to protect yourself.
And weekends can be so relaxing until the Sunday scaries hit. What experts say you can do to keep them at bay.
Well, there's expected to be a surge in cases of the flu, COVID-19, and RSV. The CDC believes this season will be similar to last season. At least 1 million people were hospitalized and more than 70,000 people died from respiratory virus illnesses. The people over the age of 65 are especially at risk from becoming severely sick.
The flu and COVID tend to lead to higher hospitalization rates and higher deaths in that population. So getting vaccinated is really important for that group of people.
Now, of the patients hospitalized for the flu last season, the CDC says only about 1/3 were vaccinated.
Well, we can all agree. Weekends, they don't last very long. Before you know it, you're feeling anxious by Sunday. And that's because many of us are dealing with something called the Sunday scaries. Basically, that's the anticipatory anxiety that some people who work Monday through Friday feel. While the Sunday scaries can feel overwhelming, there are ways that you can manage them. First, focus on what you can control in the present rather than worrying about Monday's unknowns. Do the thing you enjoy to take your mind off the upcoming work week. It's so important important to strike the right balance so you don't head into Monday feeling unrested. While feeling some job-related anxiety is normal, it might be time to reassess your situation if you are always dreading work.
Are you constantly working longer hours? Are you working in a short staff environment? So really looking at what are the things that might be contributing to your stress and see if maybe you can talk to your coworkers or maybe your supervisor about how to adjust your work schedule.
Now, if these efforts don't work, it might be time to make a change or seek help from a mental health professional.
Roof rescue. 2 police officers sprint to the rescue after a man was left hanging from his home.
Plus, curiosity killed the cat cafe. Later, the series of unfortunate events that caused serious damage at a Virginia business.
All right, we are less than 60 days away from Super Bowl 60, and Santa Clara is hosting the big game, which airs live here on WRAL. NBC's Scott Budman heard from members of the Bay Area host committee who say, oh, they're ready for it.
Seeing 49er legend Patrick Willis back at Levi's Stadium was definitely something to cheer about. And as the Niners chased their Super Bowl 60 dreams, Willis remembered his first time seeing a championship trophy at 49er headquarters.
I remember when I saw it, right away something just hit me and I said, you know what, before I leave, I want to bring one of these. I want to add to that. And so that was my mindset.
The Bay Area host committee gathered a variety of people inside Levi's today to mark the fact that Super Bowl 60 is now less than 60 days away.
Are you ready?
Among those sharing past Super Bowl memories, current 49er linebacker Fred Warner.
Yeah, you think about the just all the moments when you're a kid watching Super Bowls and just getting the family together and watching the game. It's always a fun time.
And as Levi's gets ready to host the big game, the Bay Area is about to roll out the welcome mat.
Are you ready to be the epicenter of sport next year? Are you ready to welcome the world to your home, to your neighborhood, to your city?
And the Carolina Panthers are in first place in the NFC South. That's because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers lost last night. The Atlanta Falcons came back from 14 points with less than 14 minutes left in the game. The Falcons won on a 43-yard field goal as time expired, and the final score was 29-28. Buccaneers are now a half game behind the Panthers for the division lead. And the Panthers will have a chance to extend their lead this weekend as they push for the playoffs. Carolina will be in New Orleans this Sunday to take on the Saints. Kickoff is scheduled for 4:25, and you can watch that game on Fox 50. It's the second part of an NFL doubleheader on Fox on Sunday. It starts with the Raiders against the Eagles at 1 p.m. And then after the Panthers game, there's Sunday night football action on NBC. The Cowboys are hosting the Minnesota Vikings, and kickoff for that game is set for 8:15 p.m. on WRAL.
2 Tampa police officers. As we wrap things up, here's a look at a few of the headlines that we are following today. Some snow fell in parts of our area today. We saw some small flakes here in the Triangle, but Roxborough saw a little more. Flakes were spotted even further south in Johnston County as well. Ground temperatures were not low enough for it to stick. That winter weather comes ahead of an Arctic blast this weekend, bringing temperatures into the teens by Monday.
And new today, UNC head football coach Bill Belichick has fired offensive coordinator Freddie Kitchens and special teams coordinator Mike Priefer. Belichick, who was hired exactly 1 year ago today, made that announcement this morning. Kitchens was a holdover from the Mac Brown era, and Belichick promoted him to offensive coordinator. The Tar Heels offense was one of the worst in the ACC and the nation.
Firefighters are trying to figure out what caused a fire in a neighborhood in downtown Raleigh. This is video from that scene on Idlewild Avenue. Crews spent about an hour putting out flames at an apartment building there. Several streets were blocked off while crews worked, including parts of Oakwood Avenue. We are asking for the extent of the damage as well if anybody was hurt.
Well, the Powerball lottery jackpot for tomorrow night's drawing will break the $1 billion barrier if someone wins It will be the 7th largest grand prize in Powerball history. The cash payout option is worth about $461 million. That's it? Ugh. I want more. No, I'm kidding. You can watch the drawing live on WRAL tomorrow night, right before our 11 o'clock newscast.
It's not enough, 461.
Nah, give me more.
A cat cafe in Richmond, Virginia is under renovation after a series of costly accidents. The Perfect Bean is the city's only cat cafe, and it's a home to felines until they find their forever home. Well, employees got quite a surprise last week. One of the felines accidentally flooded the place while playing in a restroom sink. Some of the kittens scurried to scratchers and hanging window perches to stay dry, but not the kitty culprit.
We believe that he moved the towel into the drain and then turned on the faucet here. So the towel plugged the drain, the faucet could not drain out, and everything just overflowed.
My goodness. The owner hopes to reopen before the new year. Until then, the cats are staying in foster homes. As for Roller, yeah, he's the one who did it. He's still finding his way into sinks.
Straight to jail. All right, our pet of the day comes to us from the SPCA of Wake County. Anne is a 5-year-old spayed. Is it Annie? Anne? That's right. It's a spayed